Hi, this is Dez Futak on day number 32 of my 90-day internet marketing challenge. I'm going to talk to you today about the Google slap. Hi, here I am on the computer and I'm just going to take you through a very quick slideshow PowerPoint presentation. I don't like PowerPoint presentations most of the time because they're too long, so there's just 3 slides. In fact, it's only 2 really. And I just want to give you some tips on how to beat the Google slap. So without further ado, there are a few very simple techniques that you need to employ when using Google advertising, when advertising with AdWords, and these things are really taken just from the information that Google provides. So in a way, all I'm doing is summarizing an awful lot of information. Sometimes I get a bit information overload when I go into Google. So hopefully this little guide here will make things a little bit simpler for you. What I'm going to do after I've shown you all these little bullet points is just take you up onto my blog, and we'll just have a look at some of the plugins that I use in order to help with some of the things I'm showing you here. So the first thing you need is a sitemap, which is basically a little file which tells Google what's on your website. And I'm going to show you a very amazing way you can generate a sitemap without in fact doing anything at all, which is fantastic. Second thing, and probably something that affiliate marketers and internet marketers, but most especially affiliate marketers, don't particularly like, is fresh content, because fresh content really implies that you have got something interesting to talk about. Google is very keen that you actually have new content on your blog or website as often as you possibly can, because at the end of the day, Google sees websites very much like vegetable shops with vegetables out on display on the front, on the sidewalk or the road, and you don't really want to be having old going mouldy apples and oranges and things and smelly fruit that people aren't interested in. That's Google's philosophy, and if you want to advertise with Google AdWords, that's what you've got to do. So you need fresh content as daily if possible, but certainly more often than not. And then something that's very important, if you have some content on your website, you need to make sure the content is just content, and then perhaps at the end of the content you might have a link to an affiliate website, but don't mix up affiliate links all over the place, because if you're going to drive traffic to that website through Google, they won't like it. And then we need some outbound links. We need some links to authoritative sites, perhaps edu.edu if you're in the US, or .ac.uk if you're in the United Kingdom. Anything which links to information is very good. So a great one is Wikipedia, for example. And in fact, I'll show you a plugin which helps automate that process in a second. And then this one here, which JJ is one of the team members in my company, says relevancy. You need to make sure that you have information which is really what people are looking for. It's an obvious thing to state, but it's very tempting to try and do something to trick people to go to your website, but Google will slap you so hard you'll never recover. So make sure that the information you provide on your website does what it says on the tin. And then finally, inbound links. Now that's not so easy to get, but I'm going to show you a few very clever ways to get, possibly get inbound links and to increase the chances of you getting inbound links. So there we go. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to have a look at my blog, and if I just change pages for a minute here. So here we have Dez Futak's blog. I've got information up here. I'm using something called Thesis, which is a very nice theme in order to display my website, and lots of plugins obviously. So there are Thesis theme down the bottom there. So what sort of things do I use on my website to try and encourage people to link to me? Well, obviously I've got things like I've got this little plugin here called the Tweet plugin. By the way, I'm using WordPress, and Matt Cutts of Google has a lot of positive things to say about WordPress, so I highly recommend you use WordPress. If you're not using WordPress to advertise information, then you really should do that. Okay, so one thing you can do is this one here. This is a little tweet retweet plugin, which basically just when somebody visits your website, if they like it, they can click on that, and then it'll send a message to Twitter for people to then hopefully click on your website. So that's free bit of traffic for you. This one here is another WordPress plugin, and this one's great for social bookmarking. So these are all social bookmarking websites, including I think Twitter down there, but we've also got Buzz, which is Yahoo, and then we've got this one which is StumbleUpon, which is a great way of getting inbound links. Okay, and Technorati, that's a rather an authoritative blog, a bit like Mashable, and then our good old friend Dig. Dig is excellent as well. So you can get people, if they click on those things, then you're getting some free traffic back into your website. Now, those aren't perhaps the most authoritative sites. Taken together, social bookmarking sites do provide an excellent source of inbound links for you. Now, I'm going to do a whole tutorial session on this. For anyone who signs up to my free internet marketing tips, I will be providing them with information on how to get inbound links, and inbound links which basically cascade and build upon themselves, and using RSS feeds as well. So I highly recommend that you sign up to this free 7-part mini course that I'm in the process of writing, but I'm feeling my way with that. But once it's ready, you will be the first to know. So going back into my back end here of my WordPress blog, at the moment, as I say, I use a thesis theme because it is incredibly customizable. Okay, there's an awful lot of features on here, and there's a link to the thesis theme that you'll see on the screen in a minute. Thesis is an absolutely awesome customizable. It's really not just a theme; it's a theme framework for Google. So it provides you with an awful lot of extra bits and pieces, to optimize your website in a way that really makes it very, very easy to do so. So there's various things that you can do with thesis there. One of them, footer scripts. I've got my Google Analytics code just there. Okay, so it's important that you get Google Analytics running on your website so you can see who's clicking on your website and what sorts of words that they're finding you with. But I wasn't going to talk to you about that specifically. I just want to talk to you about a couple of plugins which I think are very, very useful. You can see I've got lots of plugins here. But one of them, which is a good one, is the XML sitemap plugin, which I said to you automatically updates your sitemap whenever you make some changes. And there's a lot of configurations here. I haven't really got time to go into that, but you really should make sure you get yourself this plugin that comes as an extra with. I think it's actually built into WordPress now, but it never used to be. Then one other option I want to just show you in my plugins is this one, SUPR. SUPR is great because what it does is it creates shortcuts to your website and pumps them out onto Twitter, and those shortcuts actually become sorry, I'm losing my track here. They actually become StumbleUpon links, so people who use StumbleUpon can come across your website. So that's a really, really great thing to do. So I highly recommend you get su.pr by StumbleUpon. It's a really, really good plugin to have. Now, just going back to our PowerPoint presentation a minute, if I just go back one page and have a look at this list again. So the other one's fresh content. Really, what the other great thing you can do about with WordPress is you can actually say when you want your posts to go out, so you don't have to publish them straight away. So what you could do, you could just write loads and loads of articles, but publish them in the future. So if I just have a look at this one a minute, which at the time of making this video I wrote quite recently. It's big news in the UK at the moment. You see here it says you can actually change the date when you publish it. Okay, so if you wanna make it on a different date, you can do that. So I can change that to maybe October. So I could schedule a whole series of dates when I'm going to publish that information, and that means you can automate the whole process. So those are just a few things that I'm doing, which hopefully when I drive traffic to my website and put landing page information on there, I'm also going to put some content on there as well, so make it relevant to the people, so when they get there then they can have that ability to find relevant information, download information, and make it a lot more likely that Google's going to like what I've got. Okay, so hope that's been useful to you, and I'm going to sign off now. This is Dez Futak from dezfutak.com. Do please comment on what I'm saying and add some tips as well. That'd be really useful. Thanks. Bye for now.